Hi everyone. Today we are learning about a story about the Anishinabe meeting a couple of Coureur de Bois. Remember that Coureur de Bois were runners of the wood, or people that would go out and seek First Nations people to trade furs with to bring them back to major fur trading posts. So the sheet that you'll need for this one, the questions that go along with the reading, which I'm going to do in our textbook here, is this sheet right here. So you can take that out as we follow along. And our reading is titled A Glimpse of the Future. The Anishinabe meet some Coureur de Bois. As Winona dished out wild rice and fish to her husband and daughter, she looked downriver to see 4 canoes fast approaching her summer camp. Who invited them to dinner? She wondered, as her husband, Mong, went to speak to the European leaders of the expedition. Pierre Esprit Radisson and his brother-in-law are free-spirited, ambitious French traders looking to exchange European goods for prime beaver pelts. I'll head back to the village tomorrow, Wang told his wife later that evening. The white men want to see our people prosper again with trade goods, and I'm going ahead to speak to our Ogama, who will want to council to consider this exchange. And the Ogama is the leader of the Anishinaabe society. It is good the stream of metal goods will surge again, said one Ogama. And given the defeat of our Wendat allies by the Haudenosaunee, it is good to partner with the French and keep them on our side, said another. A group of women let the leaders know that they thought their husbands should focus on hunting for meat instead of trapping animals, and that the trade in European goods seemed to bring with them conflict and war. They were assured meat would be easier to obtain with their guns, the guns their men would receive from the French trade deal. But on the subject of avoiding war, the Ulima would make no promises. Days later, with much ceremony and gift-giving to show goodwill, the council presented its decision to the French traders. We have some concerns about this exchange, but many of our men wish to trap beaver and trade with you, the French traders were told. With good minds and hearts towards each other, we are confident we can arrive at a beneficial agreement. So am I, responded Radisson, visualizing the loads of prime furs he would deliver to France. Alright, very short little story, and from that story we can answer a couple of our questions on this one. So let's take a look at the first few, and then I'll give you the rest of today to finish it. So, number 1 reads, traditionally, the Anishinaabe felt they were prospering when they had enough to eat, clothes to wear, and good shelter. In this story, what does the husband think they need to prosper? So the husband was Mong, who we met at the very beginning, and in order to prosper, he thought that they needed to trade goods with the French. So in order to get further ahead and be able to have goods that would help them hunt and help them survive, he thought that they would need to trade goods. That's why he went back to the leadership in the Anishinaabe to discuss this trading endeavor. Number 2. The traditional economy and food supply of the First Nations was based on hunting and fishing. Remember that economy is like money and how people buy things. So this traditional economy and food supply was based on hunting and fishing. What was it now based on? So what did the thing that you needed to have in order to buy things, what did that now change to? Well, it changed to what our whole unit is about. It changed to fur trading, or trading for furs was what the economy was all about. All right, last one we'll do together is number 3 here. According to the story, how do you think the family was affected by the fur trade. So this is the original people that talked to Pierre Esper Radisson. So how would they have been affected by the fur trade, them specifically? Well, we can learn from the part in our story where the women were worried that the men would spend time hunting and trapping furs instead of looking for food. And there was arguments made that, well, the guns they would get for trading the furs would help them get food better. But that's kind of the shift of how things would have happened. So instead of spending a lot of their time looking for food, they would now be spending their time looking for furs to trade and spend their time trapping and those sort of things. So we have 3 more questions here, 4, 5, and 6 for us to answer. Number 4, I want you to think of both a positive and a negative. So the question actually asks, for the First Nations, new technology such as the gun led to both positive and negative outcomes. Think of a new technology that First Nations got from the fur trade and tell about one positive and negative outcome. So, positive is good, negative is bad. You can use the gun example. Can you tell me one thing that is a positive or something that would have been easier for them if they were to have a gun? And can you think of one negative thing that would happen if the First Nation people had a gun? And then I will leave the last 2 questions with that one for you. And we'll move on to phase 3 for tomorrow's lesson. Stay safe out there, everyone. I really, really hope I can see you all soon.